Welcome, dear listeners, to a brand new episode of Oliver the Time Traveler. As the sun rises over the land of the rising sun, our tale goes on. Today, we find ourselves in the heart of Japan, where Oliver and Isabella are already enjoying a tranquil breakfast with their newfound friends, Isabel and Lachlan, in the year 1982. Isabel and Lachlan are bursting with millions of questions about the celestial maps. So join us on this journey through time and space, as we embark on another adventure of a lifetime. As the morning sun casts a gentle glow over the breakfast table, Isabel takes charge, pouring fragrant cups of tea for everyone. The aroma of the warm brew fills the air, creating an inviting ambience. She looks at Oliver and, as she hands him his cup, she asks, "Oliver, those celestial maps. Where did you find them? And what do you intend to do with them?" Oliver takes a thoughtful sip of his tea, the steam curling upward as he ponders Isabel's question. With a contemplative tone, he begins to explain his intentions. "Well, you see, Isabel, the celestial maps are the key to finding people hidden throughout time, whose locations are stored in the memory of this watch." He continues, "My purpose is to reunite these lost souls with their rightful timelines, to mend the fabric of history." Oliver's expression grows more serious as he admits, "It's forbidden to change history, and I adhere to that principle as closely as I can. But sometimes it seems inevitable. There are cases like Sophia and Nikos. Nikos, in particular, found a life in 776 BC that he preferred over his time as a race car driver. Life in ancient Greece has a certain allure for him." He takes another sip of tea, his eyes reflecting the complexities and dilemmas, and says, "It's a journey filled with curiosity, wonder, challenges, and a certain responsibility." Lachlan, a thoughtful expression on his face, adds to the conversation. "I understand Nikos' perspective. Sometimes, certain moments in history hold a kind of magic that's hard to resist. Emotions run deep, and these journeys through time must be filled with both excitement and heartache." He turns his attention to Oliver and Isabella. "But what I'm curious about," he says, "is what you both plan to do once you've traced and perhaps rescued all these people who are trapped in time." Oliver takes a moment to ponder, then replies, "Well, Lachlan, we don't have all the answers yet, but we're determined to do our utmost. We've even discussed the idea of getting neighbors with Nikos and Sophia in 776 BC Olympia after our mission is complete," he chuckles. At the mention of this unusual plan, laughter bubbles up from the group. The thought of time travelers becoming neighbors in the past goes beyond comprehension. As they enjoy their breakfast and engage in lively conversation, Isabella suggests, "Perhaps, after breakfast, we can find out where the next person is." Oliver smiles at Isabella's enthusiasm. He leans forward and says, "That is a great idea, Isabella. But if I may ask, Isabel and Lachlan, what is your wish? Would like to return to your time as if nothing has happened, or do you wish to stay here? I mean, there are so much possibilities." Lachlan responds and says in his own words, "Well, that is what I meant, let me tell you. It was about a year ago that we went back to Scotland by airplane and not by watch. Isabel and we had saved up enough money for a holiday to Aberlour. It was a beautiful and meaningful getaway, where we probably saw the great-grandkids of all our old neighbors. The town had changed much, and we even made a trip to the quiet graveyard where our parents rest." There's a pause as the memory washes over him, and then he continues, "But you know, after that holiday, Isabel and I looked at each other and said, we'll never go back again. Now we understand that we can go back to the moment where I found the watch as if nothing has happened. Maybe we should think it over, but I am pretty sure that me and Isabel would like to stay here in Japan." And he looks at Isabel. Isabel smiles and says, "Yes, we are pretty sure, I guess, that we would like to stay here, although it is an attractive idea to have the possibility to travel through time. It's fancy." And she must laugh. "But please don't mind us, it is great to be here right now, and we are incredibly thankful that you have come for us." the thought that you took the risk to find us is unbelievable. Over here we are incredibly happy with what we have got. The distillery and making a difference for the world by producing smart green wood by helping our neighbor gives a lot of satisfaction. And on top of that, we do like the climate over here, so there are a lot of reasons we would like to stay here. But, Oliver and Sophia, please tell us, because we will do anything to help you. Shirakowago is a precious village. If you don't have the time right now because of your quest, you must later come back for a visit, and take some time to stay with us, and have a decent look around. It is absolutely worth it. But please, although you have time on your side, let us don't waste any more time. And let's take our cups with us and go to the living room where we can have a look at those beautiful maps once more and find out what you want to know. Together they clean the table and head for the living room, where in all privacy Oliver opens the wooden box once more, and the 8 celestial maps float majestically through the room again. The room is bathed in the soft, otherworldly glow of the celestial maps, and all of them look in wonder to the beauty of it all. Oliver reaches for the watch and begins to press the buttons. The maps start to shift and transform, their colors morphing and swirling like galaxies in motion. Wonder fills the room as the cosmic dimensional display unfolds before their eyes. And then one of the maps lights up. It displays a new position, a beacon in time where the next watcher is trapped. Oliver's eyes light up with excitement and he stands up from his seat, he says with a grin spreading across his face. For the next traveler, we have to go to. And his eyes glimmer with intrigue as he continues. There is a strange twist, my friends. The next traveler isn't on Earth at all, and we are not going into the past this time. We do have to go to the year 4361, floating in the vastness of space near Mars. I wanted to say, where on Earth will that be then? His words hang in the air, electrifying the room with the prospect of their next destination in time. The celestial maps have once again pointed the way. Isabella rises from her seat as well and looks amazed and terrified at the same time and asks, Oliver, how can we breathe there if we are floating through space? Oliver looks back at Isabella and answers, I don't know, Isabella, I absolutely have no idea. The only thing that I can think of is that that person is out there and must be able to breathe and live there. It will be a great risk, but I guess I dare to take that step for humanity, and starts laughing. Isabella asks, Why are you laughing, Oliver? Oliver replies by saying, Those are the same words that were being used when the first person stepped on the moon. But Oliver continues and says, It will be a great risk and adventure again because we do know a lot of things about the past, but this is even beyond our time. In fact, it is way ahead of our time. And I am very curious what this adventure will bring. I am not afraid, but I am very curious, and we can always use the red button on the watch to get out of there, or do any of you have a better idea? As Oliver looks around to the maps and then back to the faces of Isabella, Lachlan, and Isabel, he asks, Or do you wish not to travel this one, Isabella? Isabella looks back at Oliver and says, Dear Oliver, you did rescue me from being trapped in time in Leiden. I promised you that I would stay till the end, and I will stay till the end. If this goes wrong, then we will both bear the consequences, but something inside tells me that everything will be all right. Isabella continues, Are you sure you can't see anything like a ship, a house, or a little planet in the map where this person is? Oliver again takes a close look to the blinking location on the map and says, The position has a rectangle shape, as you can see. This shape looks like a box, and when we take a look at the second map on the left, we see that the ship of the Flying Dutchman is as big as this rectangular shape. The position we have to go to looks like a giant box. Then Lachlan intervenes by saying, My mouth is dry of all the listening. Let's go for another drink in the garden. I think it is wise to think this all over in the fresh air. It is a daring plan, but let us be wise and not take any rash decisions. Oliver smiles at Lachlan and says, That is a good idea, Lachlan. Let me put everything in my bag again, and then we continue in the beautiful garden. Then Isabel says to Lachlan, You must ring the neighbor that you have other plans this afternoon, and I will make some tea and sandwiches. Like I said, if you want to make haste and be on your way after the tea, then you can also take some sandwiches with you. Isabella smiles at Isabel and says, "That is very nice of you, thank you. It is funny that we had sandwiches from 776 BC from Olympia in Greece, and that we are now taking sandwiches with us from the year 1982 to the year 4361. What a thought." As everybody gets up to do their task, Oliver takes the key from the box and the maps disappear, fading gently into the box again. When he puts everything in his bag, Isabella says, "Oliver, you sure you want to go?" And Oliver says, looking determined, to Isabella, "Absolutely yes, my dear Isabella, I don't want to miss a thing of this adventure, and I love the idea that you want to come with me, even this time. The first travels didn't make me afraid, and this one doesn't also. It is just the step into the unknown, into space. I never expected that." Then he grabs Isabella's hand and says, "Already I have programmed the watch to this destination. After tea we will leave, and I am very happy to be with you, Isabella." Isabella blushes and glances back at Oliver and says, "The same with me, Oliver. I love to be with you on this travel. Let's go to Isabel and Lachlan and think everything over before we leave." Oliver nods, and together they walk through the beautiful, stylish Japanese house to the garden, where Lachlan gives them a serious smile and gestures friendly to the couch under the tree and says, "Please have a seat and a cup of tea before you leave. First, we want to express our gratitude towards the two of you. Thank you sincerely for coming after us. You didn't expect that there were two persons here in Shirakuwago in Japan. But the idea that you are here with that watch is unbelievable. Isabel made a pile of sandwiches, and please eat some and take with you what you can carry." Oliver and Isabella look grateful and take a sandwich and enjoy for a moment the beautiful Japanese garden, again lit by the golden rays of the sun. Isabel then asks, "Would you like to take a sleeping bag with you, or a blanket, or maybe one of our jackets?" Isabel answers by saying, "Dear Isabel and Lachlan, thank you for your offer. Our jackets are sufficient, and we are just happy to take a couple of sandwiches. Everywhere we went through time we got decent food and drinks, and I guess that we always can travel to a store with the watch." Everybody starts laughing, and the atmosphere in the garden shines an aura as strong as the rays of the sun. Then Oliver looks at Isabella and then at Isabel and Lachlan and says, "Dear Isabel and Lachlan, it has been awesome meeting you in these surroundings. We are happy for you that you have found your destiny over here in Japan. I think your mission over here with the smart production of wood must be spread all around the world. It is absolutely necessary. We still have so much to talk about, but although we do have time on our side, I think it is now time to say goodbye for the moment, and as I said before, you will see us back in a sec." And everybody must laugh again, because it's a true fact. Oliver rises from his seat, shakes Lachlan's hand and gives Isabel a warm hug. Isabel wipes a tear from her eye and says, "This was so short and overwhelming. I sincerely do hope to see you both healthy and safe again. Please promise to come back to tell your tale, please do." Then Isabella gives their hosts a hug and reaches to grab Oliver's hand. "Come on, Oliver, it's time. Thank you again for your hospitality, Isabel and Lachlan, and like Oliver said, we might be back sooner than expected, I hope." Together with Oliver, she steps into the middle of the garden where they wave a last goodbye, and then, while holding each other's hand, Isabella presses the green button on Oliver's watch and the world around them begins to fade, and in a moment they are surrounded by the white lights again, and feel like being lifted off the ground. Once the lights fade, they find themselves no longer in the beautiful sunlit garden in Japan. Instead, they are enclosed in a tunnel made of gleaming metal, with small windows providing glimpses of the outside. As they peer through the windows, their breath catches in their throats. The view is nothing short of breathtaking. Countless stars twinkle in the vast cosmic expanse, painting a tapestry of lights. Nearby, a planet looms, but it's not Earth, it resembles the barren, reddish terrain of Mars. Oliver and Isabella exchange wide-eyed glances, their hearts pounding with a mixture of awe and uncertainty. It's a moment of realization. They've been transported not just through time, but also through space itself, to a destination beyond anything they could have ever imagined. The first thing Oliver says: "At least we can breathe." Dear listeners, as Oliver and Isabella take in their surreal surroundings within the metallic tunnel, their eyes dart around, scanning the unfamiliar environment. We leave them for now in the year 4361, floating in space near the planet Mars. We thank you for listening to this tale of Oliver the Time Traveler that will continue in the next episode. Please feel free to like and subscribe to not miss a thing of Oliver and Isabella on their quest in search for the Watchers. Safe travels, dear listeners, until the next one.